Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam.
Uranus's 27 moons are divided into 3 distinct groups: the inner moon, the regular moons, and the irregular moons. Most of the information we have about Uranus and its moons comes from the data and pictures supplied by the Voyager 2 spacecraft, the Hubble Space Telescope, and smaller land-based telescopes. We do not know much about the inner and irregular moons, mostly because they are so small and dark. The inner moons of Uranus are contained within the planet's rings. They are each made up of rock and water ice and likely coated in a dark carbon-rich layer typical of Class C asteroids. They all have a prograde rotation. Uranus's moons are named for characters from the works of William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope instead of characters from Greek mythology. In the innermost out, they are Cordelia, Ophelia, Bianca, Cressida, Desdemona, Juliet, Portia, Rosalind, Cupid, Belinda, Perdita, Puck, and Mab. Originally designated S1986U7, Cordelia was found on January 20th, 1986 by the Voyager science team. It has an orbital period of 8 hours, a diameter of 15 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Cordelia was named after the youngest princess in King Lear. Originally designated S1986U8, Ophelia was found in January 1986 by R. Chereal of the Voyager science team. It has an orbital period of 9 hours, a diameter of 16 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.08. Ophelia was named for a noblewoman in Shakespeare's Hamlet, the fiancée of the titular character. Cordelia and Ophelia have a unique partnership. They act as shepherd satellites for Uranus's Epsilon ring, using their gravitational pull to keep the ring defined and in place. Originally designated S1986U9, Bianca was discovered by the Voyager science team on January 23, 1986. It has an orbital period of 10 hours, a diameter of about 51.4 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Bianca was named for the younger sister in Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. Originally designated S1986U3, Cressida was discovered by the Voyager science team on January 9, 1986. It has an orbital period of 11 hours, a diameter of about 79.6 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.08. Cressida was named for the titular heroine in Shakespeare's play Troilus and Cressida. Originally designated S1986U6, Desdemona was discovered by the Voyager science team on January 13, 1986. It has an orbital period of 11 hours, a diameter of about 32 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Desdemona was named for the wife of Othello in Shakespeare's Othello, Moor of Venice. Originally designated S1986U2, Juliet was discovered by the Voyager science team on January 3, 1986. It has an orbital period of 12 hours, a diameter of about 93.6 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Juliet was named for the titular heroine of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Originally designated S1986U1, Portia was discovered by S. Synott of the Voyager science team in January of 1986. It has an orbital period of 12 hours, a diameter of 135.2 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Portia was named after the heroine in Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice. Originally designated S2003U2, Cupid was discovered by M.R. Showalter and J.J. Lissauer on August 25, 2003 with the Hubble Space Telescope. It has an orbital period of 15 hours, a diameter of 36 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Cupid was named for the Roman god of love who appeared in Shakespeare's play Timon of Athens. Originally designated S1986U5, Belinda was discovered by S. Synott of the Voyager science team on January 13, 1986. It has an orbital period of 15 hours, a diameter of about 80.6 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Belinda was named for a character whose lock of hair is stolen in Alexander Pope's narrative poem, The Rape of the Lock. Originally designated S1986U10, Perdita was discovered by E. Karchoshka on May 18, 1999, in images sent back by Voyager 2. However, the International Astronomical Union could not completely confirm its existence until 2003, since no one was able to find it for 4 years after Karchoshka's initial sighting. It has an orbital period of 15 hours, a diameter of 30 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.08. Perdita was named after the daughter of Hermione and Leontes in Shakespeare's play The Winter's Tale. Originally designated S1985U1, Puck was discovered by S. Synott of the Voyager science team on December 2, 1985. It has an orbital period of 18 hours, an albedo of 0.07, and a diameter of about 150 kilometers, making it the largest of the inner moons. Puck was named for a mischievous and conniving fairy in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. The outermost of the inner moons is Mab. Originally designated S2003U1, Mab was discovered by M.R. Showalter and J.J. Lissauer on August 25, 2003 with the Hubble Space Telescope. It has an orbital period of 22 hours, a diameter of 48 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.103. Mab orbits at the same distance as Uranus's Mu ring, most likely providing dust for the ring when struck by other space objects. Mab was named after a fairy queen in English folklore, referenced in Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet. As previously mentioned, Uranus also has 9 irregular moons. It is unknown how these irregular moons were created, but it is believed that they are captured asteroids. They have very eccentric orbits and, with one exception, move in retrograde. From the innermost out, they are Francisco, Caliban, Stefano, Trinculo, Sycorax, Margaret, Prospero, Setebos, and Ferdinand. The innermost irregular moon is Francisco. Originally designated S2001U3, Francisco was discovered by J.J. Cavallars et al. On August 13, 2001. It has an orbital period of 267 days, a diameter of 22 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.04. Francisco is named after a nobleman in Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Originally designated S1997U1, Caliban was discovered by B. Gladman et al. On September 6, 1997. It has an orbital period of 580 days, a diameter of 72 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.04. Caliban is named after a slave in Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Originally designated S1999U2, Stefano was discovered by B. Gladman et al. On July 18, 1999. It has an orbital period of 677 days, a diameter of about 32 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.04. Stefano is named after the king's butler in Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Originally designated S2001U1, Trinculo was discovered by M. Holman et al. On August 13, 2001. It has an orbital period of 759 days, a diameter of about 18 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.04. Trinculo was named after the jester in Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Originally designated S1997U2, Sycorax was discovered by P.D. Nicholson et al. On September 6, 1997. It has an orbital period of 1,288 days, an assumed albedo of 0.04, and a diameter of about 150 kilometers, making it the largest of the irregular moons. It is light red in color. Sycorax was named for a deceased witch and the mother of Caliban in Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Originally designated S2003U3, Margaret was discovered by S.S. Shepard and D.C. Jewett on August 29, 2003. It has an orbital period of 1,687 days, a diameter of about 20 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.04. Margaret was named for a lady-in-waiting in Shakespeare's play Much Ado About Nothing. Originally designated S1999U3, Prospero was discovered by M.J. Holman et al. On July 18, 1999. It has an orbital period of 1,978 days, a diameter of about 50 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.07. Prospero was named after the exiled Duke of Milan in Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Originally designated S1999U1, Setebos was discovered by J.J. Cavallars et al. On July 18, 1999. It has an orbital period of about 2,225 days, a diameter of 48 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.04. Setebos was named after a Patagonian deity referenced in Shakespeare's play The Tempest as the god of Sycorax and Caliban. The outermost moon is Ferdinand. Originally designated S2001U2, Ferdinand was discovered by D. Milosavlicek et al. On August 13, 2001. It has an orbital period of about 2,887 days, a diameter of about 20 kilometers, and an assumed albedo of 0.04. Ferdinand was named after the Prince of Naples in Shakespeare's play The Tempest.